Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiv Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtiprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki. So, continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 14th chapter, the disappearance of Lord Krishna, text number 9 onwards. So, Yudhishthira Maharaj is speaking here. Yasmanna sampado rajyam dara prana kulam prajaha asan sapatna vijayo lokascha yadanugrihah. From him only, means from Krishna only, all our kingly opulence, good wives, lives, progeny, control over our subjects, victory over our enemies, and future accommodations in higher planets have become possible. All this is due to his mercy upon us. Prabhupada is writing in the purport. Material prosperity consists of a good wife, good home, sufficient land, good children, aristocratic family relations, victory over competitors, and by pious work, attainment of accommodations in the higher celestial planets for better facilities of material amenities. So, this is all material prosperity. So, how many people have this kind of prosperity in these days? Hardly any. Because after attainment of after living a good life here and attainment of accommodations to the higher planetary system, so higher celestial planets, sort of impossible these days. These facilities are earned not only by one's hard manual labor or by unfair means, but by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So that's the only way to get it. Of course, mercy means we have to work hard. It doesn't mean mercy will flow and we don't do anything. It cannot happen like that. Prosperity earned by one's personal endeavor also depends on the mercy of the Lord. Personal labor must be there in addition to Lord's benediction. But without the Lord's benediction, no one is successful simply by personal labor. So, only personal labor is not sufficient. We need Krishna's mercy also to achieve anything, especially the material prosperity. The modernized man of Kali Yuga believes in personal endeavor and denies the benediction of the Supreme Lord. They even deny the presence of Supreme Lord. They said there is no God. Even a great sannyasi of India delivered speeches in Chicago protesting the benedictions of the Supreme Lord. We all know who that speaker was. But as far as Vedic Shastras are concerned, as we find in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, the ultimate sanction for all success rests in the hand of the Supreme Lord. Maharaj Yudhishthira admits this truth in his personal success, and it behooves one to follow in the footsteps of a great king and devotee of the Lord to make life a full success. If one could achieve success without the sanction of the Lord, then no medical practitioner would fail to cure a patient. See, Prabhupada is giving a wonderful example. If one could achieve success without the sanction of the Lord, then no medical practitioner would fail to cure a patient. Despite the most advanced treatment of a suffering patient by the most up to date medical practitioner, there is death. And even in the most hopeless case, without medical treatment, a patient is cured astonishingly. Therefore, the conclusion is that God's sanction is an immediate cause for all happenings, good or bad. In fact, all medical professionals, practitioners, they definitely say, they definitely believe in God because they never say we cure people. Ultimately, they say it's all in the hand of God. We can give medicines, that's it. Whether to cure, whether the person will be cured or not, that's up to God. Therefore, the conclusion is that the God sanction is immediate cause for all happenings, good or bad. Any successful man should feel grateful to the Lord for all he has achieved. But that is the problem. A successful man, as soon as he achieves anything, he forgets God. He says, "Oh, it's because of my hard work I have achieved it," instead of giving credit to the God. And of course, if he gets any failure, then he puts a blame on Krishna. Oh, it's because of God I got failed. Otherwise, I had done everything right. No, success or failure, everything depends on God. Text 10. पश्योत्पातान् नरव्याघ्र दिव्यान् भौमान् च दैहिकान् दारुणान् शंसतो अदूराद् भयं नो बुद्धिमोहनम्. Just see, O man, with the tiger's strength, how many miseries due to celestial influences, earthly reactions, and bodily pains, all very dangerous in themselves, are foreboding danger in the near future by deluding our intelligence. So this Yudhishthira Maharaj is addressing Bhimsen here, O man with tiger's strength. Material advancement of civilization means advancement of the reactions of the threefold miseries due to celestial influence, earthly reactions, and bodily or mental pains. Means celestial influence means adidevik klesh, earthly reactions, adibhotik klesh, and bodily mental pains, adhyatmik klesh. By the celestial influence of the stars, there are many calamities like excessive heat, cold, rains, or no rain, and the after effects are famine, disease, and epidemic. The aggregate result is agony of the body and the mind. Man made material science cannot do anything to counteract these threefold miseries. They are all punishments from the superior energy of Maya under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, our constant touch with the Lord by devotional service can give us relief without our being disturbed in the discharge of our human duties. So, this is what bhakti does. Our constant touch with the Lord by devotional service can give us relief without our being disturbed in the discharge of our human duties. So means the miseries will still be there even if one becomes a devotee, but he will not get disturbed by them. He becomes a dhira, he becomes a sober person. He has better control of himself. The asuras, however, who do not believe in the existence of God, make their own plans to counteract all these threefold miseries, and so they meet with failures every time. Bhagavad Gita 7:14 clearly states that the reaction of material energy is never to be conquered because of the binding effects of the three modes. They can simply be overcome by one who surrenders fully in devotion under the lotus feet of the Lord. So only by surrendering unto Krishna's lotus feet we can overcome all the reactions of material energy. We can overcome all the miseries, easily overcome the effects of the miseries. Means the miseries will not distract us or bother us. Text 11. Urvakshi bahavo mayam sfuranting punah punah vepathushchami hridaye aradasyanti vipriyam. The left side of my body, my thighs, arms, and eyes are all quivering again and again. I am having heart palpitations due to fear. All this indicates undesirable happenings. So it is said that the left side of a man, if it quivers, then there's something undesirable that is going to happen in near future. And similarly, the right side of a lady, if it quivers, right eye, right arm, right thigh, then there could be a problem. Then there could be a problem in near future. Material existence is full of undesirables. Things we do not want are forced upon us by some superior energy, and we did not see that these undesirables are under the grip of the three modes of material nature. When a man's eye, arms, and thighs all quiver constantly, one must know that something is going to happen which is undesirable. Not just a man's eye, it's a left eye. especially lifetime. These undesirables are compared to a fire in a forest. No one goes into the forest to set fires, but fires automatically take place in the forest, creating inconceivable calamities for the living beings of the forest. Such a fire cannot be extinguished by any human efforts. The fire can be extinguished only by the mercy of the Lord, who sends clouds to pour water on the forest. Similarly, this forest fire, although Prabhupada writes, nobody goes into the forest to set fires, so fires automatically take place in the forest, creating inconceivable calamities for the living beings of the forest. But here in America, especially in California side, there have been instances people starting the forest fire. For what reason? For some petty material gains. Some very little material gain they get out of it. But they start this fire, and the fire goes on for miles and miles wide and miles long. And even the best firefighters or best equipments they have, but they're still unable to douse that fire. Every year it happens. So, sometimes it starts on its own too. I'm not saying every time somebody starts a fire, but the thing is, there it's very difficult to control that fire, forest fire. Then this is what the material world is compared to, forest fire. That's why every morning when we sing Guru Ashtakam, Sansar Davanal prayers, prayers starting with Sansar Davanal word. So Sansar Davanal means forest fire. Sansar is like Davanal, this material world. And Sansar actually means the cycle of birth and death. So this material world where we are suffering from birth and death is like a Davanal, forest fire. And how it can be put out? That's what Prabhupada is writing. The fire can be extinguished only by the mercy of the Lord, who sends clouds to pour water on the forest. Similarly, undesirable happenings in life cannot be checked by any number of plans. Such miseries can be removed only by the mercy of the Lord, who sends his bona fide representatives to enlighten human beings and thus save them from all calamities. So this is what that word says. Sansara davana lida loka tranaya karunya ghana ghanatvam. Means tranaya karunya. Karunya means the mercy. Mercy, ghana ghanatvam means clouds of mercy. When they come and they pour water in the form of the Guru's instructions. Praptasya kalyana punarnavasya vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. So I worship the lotus feet of that Guru who has brought the water from the clouds of mercy of the Supreme Lord. To do what? To extinguish the forest fire in which I was burning. And this is the forest fire of Sansar. And Sansar is full of problems. Not just birth, death, old age, and disease, Adi Bhautik, Adi Atmik, and Adi Davik Klesha. They're always bothering us, always burning us, not just bothering us, they're burning us. And that's why once a very senior devotee, he told me that every morning you should, when you're in the temple, you should attend Mangala Aarti. But even if you're not in the temple, you should sing this prayer, and especially this first verse, first stanza, first shloka of the prayer, and just understanding the meaning of this verse. Just when we sing, we should not be singing just mechanically or like in a parrot-like repetition. Understand the meaning of that verse and try to realize that meaning, try to grasp the meaning, and then sing. and then understand the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and his followers. That we were all burning in this forest fire. Even in the English song, there is a song, no? We didn't start the fire, it was always burning since the world's been turning, something like that. So, of course, they didn't give the solution. Here, the solution is given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in this song. He says, Sansar is Davanal, that's for sure. The material world is full of miseries. It's like forest fire. And in the forest fire, like Prabhupada is writing, it creates inconceivable calamities for the living beings of the forest because they cannot go anywhere. Anywhere they try to go, there is fire. So they get burnt. They suffer so much because they cannot run. So similarly in the material world, we all are suffering. We all are burning. Nowhere, I mean, if you think, uh, okay, I'll leave India, go to America, I'll be saved from this forest fire. No way. Here it's the same fire. It's burning. Everybody's suffering. Okay, I'll go to London, then I'll be saved. I'll go to moon planet. It's heavenly planet, I'll be saved out there. No. Nowhere in the material world we can be saved from the sufferings of this forest fire. What's the solution? Only solution is getting the mercy of the spiritual master who brings the mercy from Krishna. Krishna sends the mercy in the form of clouds, in the form of his instructions, in the form of his books, and the spiritual master brings the instructions from these books, gives them to his followers, and tries to save them. And this is what Prabhupada has given us. Wonderful Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and other books that he has given. And other practices, chanting, service, association. So many practices is given. Go to the temple, take darshan of the deities, beautiful deities. Any temple that you go to of ISKCON. Wonderful prasadam, wonderful kirtan, association. Take darshan of the deity when the arti is going on. Participate in the Aarti. There are so many festivals. Now Janmashtami festival is coming up. Then Prabhupada Vyas Puja. Then Radhashtami will be there. Now the festival season starts. It starts from Balram Jayanti. And then one after the other, there are so many festivals will come. Why? Festival means time or moment for us to enjoy, to really celebrate. We don't celebrate some grave moment. We don't celebrate some sad moment. We celebrate when we are happy. So that's why these festivals are there, to make us happy, to think of Krishna, to remember Krishna's pastimes on those days, especially on those days. It gives us a chance to serve more, it gives us a chance to chant more rounds. So we can celebrate here, and when we go back to the spiritual world, we celebrate it over there. Over there, every moment is a celebration. Nobody is sad in the spiritual world. That's why that is called Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha means no kunta, no more worries. The worries are only here in the in the material world. So we have to give up all those worries. And that's why Prabhupada has given us this wonderful program. So let's celebrate. Let's celebrate all the festivals very nicely. Let's celebrate the study of Bhagavatam also very nicely. So otherwise there is no way we can be saved from the miseries of this material world. There's no way. People are suffering everywhere. They are suffering. We should be very thankful to Prabhupada and his followers for giving us this opportunity to take up this process. Text 12. And look at Yudhishthira Maharaj, how much grateful he is towards Krishna. Text 12. Shiva Shodyantam Adityam Abhirotyan Lanana Mamanga Mam angasara meo api apyam abhi re bhati bhiruvat. Just see, O Bhima, how the she-jackal cries at the rising sun and vomits fire, and how the dog barks at me fearlessly. These are some of the bad omens indicating something undesirable in the near future. Shasta kurvanti mamsavyam dakshinam pakshvo apavre vahanscha purusha vyagra lakshe rudito mama. O Bhimsen, tiger amongst men, now useful animals like cows are passing me on my left side, and lower animals like the asses are circumambulating me. My horses appear to weep upon seeing me. Well, these days, if you go by these bad omens, then everything is a bad omen for us. Mrityuduta kapoto ayam uluka kampayan mana prati ulukascha kuhvanar vishvam vaishunyam ichata. Just see, this pigeon is like a messenger of death. The shrieks of the owls and the rival crows make my heart tremble. It appears that they want to make a void of the whole universe. Dhumra disha paridheya kampate bhusahadribhi nirghatascha mahastat sakam cha stan yitnubhi. Just see how the smoke encircles the sky. It appears that the earth and mountains are throbbing. Just hear that cloudless thunder and see the bolts from the plume. Vayurvati kharsparsho rajasa visrijan samha asrig varshanti jalada bhibhatsam iv sarvataha. The winds blow violently, blasting dust everywhere and creating darkness. Clouds are raining everywhere with bloody disasters. Suryam Hatprabham Pasha Grihimardam Mitho Divi Sasankular Bhuta Ganer Jvalite Evrodasi. The rays of the sun are declining and the stars appear to be fighting among themselves. Confused living entities appear to be ablaze and weeping. Nadyo nadascha kshubita saransi cha manansi cha na jvalati agni rajena kaloyam kim vidhasati. Rivers, tributaries, ponds, reservoirs, and the mind are all perturbed. Butter no longer ignites fire. What's this extraordinary time? What's going to happen? Na pibanti stanam vatsa, na duyanti cha matra, rudanti ashru mukha gavo, na harishanti rishabha vraje. The calves do not suck the teats of the cows, nor do the cows give milk. They are standing crying, tears in their eyes, and the bulls take no pleasure in the pasturing grounds. Devtani rudanti va svidyanti yuchilanti cha ime janpada grama prodhyana karashramaha brashtashriyo nirananda kimakam darsyanti naha. The deities seem to be crying in the temple, lamenting and perspiring. They seem about to leave. All the cities, villages, towns, gardens, mines, and hermitages are now devoid of beauty and bereft of all happiness. I do not know what sort of calamities are now awaiting us. So, this is the beginning of Kali Yuga. Yudhishthira Maharaj is experiencing all this. It's just now 5,000 years into Kali Yuga. Of course, we see these things happening every time. But it's a mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he has still stopped the Kali Yuga to take full effect. Otherwise, we could have lots of bad things happening right now. Manya eter mahot pater nunam bhagvatah pada ananya purash shri bhir hina bhuhart sobhaga. I think that all these earthly disturbances indicate some greater loss to the good fortune of the world. The world was fortunate to have been marked with the footprints of the lotus feet of the Lord. These signs indicate that this will no longer be. Iti chintayastastasya drishtarishtena chetasa ragya pratyagamat brahman yadupuriha kapidvajaha. O Brahman Shaunak, while Maharaj Yudhishthir, observing the inauspicious signs on the earth at that time, was thus thinking to himself. Arjun came back from the city of the Yadus, Dwarka. So, we'll stop here and we'll discuss on Monday. So, what Arjun says to Yudhishthira Maharaj, what he has seen. So, we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments?
Prabhuji, Monday is Janmashtami, so will we have class on Monday?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Then it will
And
be...
Tuesday is Prabhupada Vyas Puja.
Yeah, so 2 days we can't have the class. So it will be on Wednesday then.
Okay, no?
Thank you for reminding.
So the mystery, now we wanted to know what Arjuna said. The mystery will continue till Wednesday.
Yeah, he was gone for 7 months, so let him take some rest. He has just come back.
And he's saying, Mataji, celebrate Janmashtami well. Go to temple.
Yeah, please celebrate as much, whatever you can do, service-wise, darshan-wise, whatever you can. Please do so.
We will miss you, Prabhuji. Miss you though.
Well, same here. I'll miss you all.
Wish you a very happy Janmashtami, Prabhu, in advance.
Thank you, Prabhu.